Hey everyone, it's Friday, so we are making another breakdown and learning from the best practices about e-commerce at getsections.com YouTube channel. Now it's a beginning of January, everything is about CES and a ton of new devices, really cool new technologies being released. So we want to go through examples of online stores of those devices because they have two things in common. They need to explain how their product is different, what are the benefits, and they also have one thing in common. It is having a button instead of buy now or add to cart. It would be reservations and deposits. Today we'll go through multiple online stores. One of them is Clicks, another is Pocket, and another example is a PDP page from PoolBot. It's a Beatbot AquaSense X. And then another device, in that case, it's eCold Brew. Let's start with the Clicks. So they become famous when they released their additional keyboard type of device for the iPhones. But this year they're releasing a completely standalone device, some sort of a co-pilot phone. You will be able to watch more about this device for sure, but my focus here is to actually dissect an interesting ideas from their PDP page here. So what is different on the PDP pages for the products that are not yet on the market? First of all, the reserve now. So they have reserve now button, and they always will emphasize that by buying early or making a deposit, you're actually getting a better price. But overall, this page will talk about the potential release date, but also the benefits of the device, obviously. So let's take a look on the first section. So basically they selling an idea of saving up to 200. They have a counter to the release date. And if we click on the call to action button, it reveals the buy box. So it's very interesting approach here. And you can either pay in full upfront for $3.99 or add a reservation deposit and lock in the $3.99 early bird price. Also on the buy box, they have additional reassurance that the deposit is fully refundable and obviously the device itself. So basically the warranty and additional reassurance that they are actually being on the market for a while and they have a track record of successful purchases. So they have ability to brag about it, that they're being sold 100,000 items in 100 plus countries. Okay, so next section is all about actual product, and they trying to show it, how big it is in terms of the handheld devices like iPhone or any other smartphone. You will always see the photo, how it fits in the hand, how big or small it is, just to give clients the ability to understand how this device look like. Also, they trying to make a zoom in on the specific characteristics. They have a special keyboard here. So they basically go with the images, and the next section is the carousel of the benefits. So they explaining what are the capabilities of the device. Then we have a section with the video presentation that shows the 3D render of that device. And then again, the explaining features with the diagonal checkers type of section here, where on the left side you have images, on the right side text. Again, they making a zoom in on specific characteristics of the device, reiterating the benefits and explaining the additional options like the colors of the backside that could be chosen for this product. Then comparison of the dimensions, also pretty important thing, and as mentioned before, it is typical for smartphones. Next section is technical specification. So they talk about what type of screen characteristics they have, battery size, what the connectivity standards they support, weight and size of the device as well. And then the bottom of the page is FAQ, standard thing for the new devices. Also, extended FAQ that talks about reservations, just to remove any hesitance and remove the actual objections. And then the footer. What I would do differently here is that I would basically keep the buy box as a sticky add to cart button, or reiterate again and place the additional buy box. In fact, they do have this navigation here that allows to jump between the key sections with the highlighted reserve now button that brings us back to the reservation section. But again, it not hurts to have an ability to place an additional section for the buy box. Here was the clicks. Let's go further to the Pocket. Another device is Pocket, and it's coming from the popular category of AI transcribers, companions, devices. What they really want to emphasize upfront, to a level that they brought the running text as well here, that it does not require any subscription. It is actually a new trend, and customers are really tired of subscriptions or fake subscriptions, where something is being cut off from the features just for the ability to add a recurring fee to the product. Let's go and explore how this page is built. So their main page is actually right away their PDP. You can navigate using the main menu. It is scrolling the page. It gives the ability to read the reviews and stuff like that. But most important one is the buy now. What is different here in terms of this specific product is that it's not a pre-launch. It is the product on the market. But I chosen this page to be in the overview because this is an example of an advanced technology, advanced device, and it imposes unique challenges in those e-commerce websites that's selling advanced devices. They need to explain those features and sell the benefits and features as well. So it's not as straightforward. Here's the product, here's the add to cart button, that's it. It is a very deep, and I call it like Apple-like PDPs, where it is a ton of sections. So let's scroll one by one. Basically, they're starting with a static image. It's not a video, it's just one image. And we go through actual first call to action button here that will scroll us all the way to the buy box. But let's get back for now from the beginning. So they have a video here. It could be triggered by click. They have some sort of a black belt featuring what companies people are working who bought the Pocket. The next section is UGC content. It is very important. If your product is already on the market, it will be a first question of like, well, if you already have sales, how's that look like? How the feedback is look like? So they're putting together here 3 reviews, and it's actually the carousel. So it's like 4 of them in total. And the next section is explaining all the features plus technical capabilities. So they explain the battery life. So it's like 4-day battery, 128 gigabytes of the size of the hard drive on it, and so on and so forth. They're also a carousel of the lifestyle photos of like how this actual product in usage look like. And then again, reiterating on the product features in the various grids. Everything looks very slick and minimalistic. Moving forward, we can see the section with the reviews. So they have some cherry-picked reviews with the photos and the actual names of the customers and the short review. They mentioned that it was purchased by 10,000 creators, and they have 366 reviews by Judge Me, I guess. So it's a Judge Me plugin. And then again, they going back into explaining the features, the design of the diagrams, and all of the things on this website is very cool and minimalistic. So it gives that Apple feeling of sorts. And finally, we have the buy box. So in this section, they have a carousel with the images of the product itself, but also the Copilot app. This is a new concept where in many cases, the actual product have an additional value in a Copilot app. So bunch of features, bunch of benefits that this product provides are unlocked through the app as well. Okay, so basically we have all that explainers here, but on the right side we have ability to bundle it up, and this bundling is actually interesting because it allows to pick color variations of each of the items within the bundle, and we can do click add to cart, and it shows the card that basically have applied the discount, and this is basic sidebar card. It doesn't have any additional upsells or sections here. And then we scrolling down, we see the specs here, plus some sort of subscription that they actually not keeping the promise, but basically they say it's no subscription required. But hey, if you really want something, you can have the additional $20 a month subscription as well. Again, reviews in a different form and features explained. On the very bottom, it is having the FAQ again. And here we're landing at the footer of the page, and that's all. Let's switch to the next one, which is a BeatBot AquaSense X pool cleaner robot. Okay, so them having this PDP is basically for a specific product that is not yet released. So from what's going on, we can see that this online store is very slick and high-end. They have some products that are possible to be purchased right away through the buy now button, but this one is being released on the CES show, so it's a reservation. Cool, so let's go and see what sections they have. In terms of sections, they have a product description with a see more button. Also, here's the images carousel that showing the specific image when we hovering on the thumbnail on the left side. But we can also scroll by clicking the arrows here and make a additionally zoom in. They also make them cool because it is essentially a PNG file that doesn't have any background, and additional ability to zoom in on those pictures makes a great effect. They mention here that it is a pre-launch, and they also put the full price here and a amount of a deposit. They also giving some sort of a timeline. So if you would reserve between January 5th and March 15th, the deposit of $250 is refundable. From March 16 and forward, you are expected to pay the remaining quantity. The next box is actually very interesting. So they mentioned that this is a limited offer. They accepting only 500 pre-launch deposits, and this is creating the scarcity and willingness to purchase right away. So they essentially offering the 1-year warranty and additional 4-year coverage that is worth $850, plus pool care kit, which I don't know what it is, limited edition product individually marked. Well, exclusivity and VIP. We can also open it as a model window and see more details here as well. Here we have a button reserve now. They also showing the icons of the payment tools that could be used to purchase it. And also they have additional reassurance that their customer support is very active and available. They're showing sample questions and an ability to initiate chat right away. It is pretty smart that they make this chat bubble here because they're using the sticky add to cart section here. So it is not actually conflicting with the, let's call it add to cart button, but it's reserved now. The rest of the page is basically explaining the features and explaining the benefits with ability to make a deep dive into specifics, how their technology is different, why it's cool, and they have those scrollable explainers, 3D overflies, and additional explainers of how this robot is actually making its job very cool way. Moving forward to the next section, they have some brag section where they bragging about their CES success. They basically being named best in show. So those here tablet image carousel here, explanation of the benefits, what is in the box. So they showing the package of what is inside. Next section is technical specs. So they're basically showing the dimensions, the weight, other important data points, and traditionally FAQ. So basically what else, what type of objections they can handle with this FAQ and stuff like that. Below that is traditionally the footer, and we can try click reserve now and see what happens next. So we're being redirected right away to the Shopify checkout. There's no sidebar cart, there's no cart, it immediately goes to the checkout. Okay, let's take a look on eCold Brew, and this is another device that was featured on CES, and here's their approach. On their main page, they right away have the PDP itself. So we basically have the product available on the first section. So we have a photo and a clear call to action button, deposit now. They don't charge a lot, it's $10 deposit to get a $80 discount. A bit of confusing here is that the call to action here is saying deposit now, another one is says reserve now. I don't know what's the difference, but let's take a look. So I clicked reserve now, and it's showing right now another PDP here, and they talking about their launch on Kickstarter. Again, it's a photo carousel of the images for the product, some additional information, and then they explaining the rollout. When is the pre-launch, when is the Kickstarter launch, and so on and so forth. It is to mitigate the potential stress on the customer of how much long they will wait for the actual product. Okay, let's try to click the deposit now button. Basically, yeah, same thing. So they just made the confusing buttons here. And okay, the reserve now is just a glitch. So the reserve now is the sticky add to cart button, and that's how it sits here. Cool, so let's go section by section. Next section is the product video.
Cold brew was built on waiting. Drip after.
Okay, then they explaining eventually how it would cost in a different configurations. So the VIP only, the standard version of the VIP only, and then home and go version of VIP only, and the various pricing here. Again, the $10 deposit actually pays for the specific discount. Then they have some icons to reassure the delivery and like some benefits of purchasing. Again, video, and then they explain the actual functionality of the product. Here's the animated GIFs that's showing how that product works. Looks like a jet engine actually in a Stanley Cup of sorts. It's weird. But next one is explaining real life use cases. So you can put it into the car cup holder, have it with you in the office or in the fitness room. And then explaining the interface. So apparently there is some sort of a screen that's showing the status of the actual beverage that is being prepared there, plus some additional high-tech-ish dashboards looking cool. And now you will have a chance to purchase yet another device that needs to be charged. Apparently there is a USB-C cable that allows you to charge the battery of this device. So basically we have iPhone to be charged, iWatch, and that thing as well. That's cool. This is a standard grid following next. So it's section just explaining specific features of the product, its capabilities, It's done very well, and the quality of visualizations is exceptional. Their type of way of showing this reminds me styling of Anchor. So they basically inspired by Anchor very much, and I would say it looks like really following their blueprint of the look and feel. Again, specifications, classic section for any type of device e-commerce, and footer. When I click reserve now, it drops me here. I can click add to cart right now, and then we have just a sidebar cart, and we go to the checkout. We'll see. So it basically equal brew prepayment deposit. This is it for now. Please stick around, subscribe, and hit the like button, because next week we're going to review online stores that are selling medical devices. It is a ton of them. Everybody want to be healthy. Everybody wants to be fit. It is basically an Ozempic age right now happening. Everybody wants to monitor their glucose level. So it is a ton of very cool looking medical device stores, and we're going to explore them in our next episode. Thank you very much, and stay tuned. Bye bye.